Broadcasting live from the Swiftwater Cliffs on the plain of Tarkir, this is Tap Tap Concede.
Whee!
Welcome, everybody, to Tap Tap Concede. I'm Graham.
I'm Kathleen.
Kathleen is here, and James is over on the production computer.
What up?
And it's just the three of us this week, but we are very excited about Fate Reforged. Some people were asking us yesterday in the chat, actually, on while we were streaming. They were like, "Hey, are you guys excited about Fate Reforged?" And it's like, obviously.
I am currently playing Magic. What do you think?
Super excited about Fate Reforged. So we're going to talk to you about some of the spoilers that have been coming out in this glorious spoiler season. We went to the coffee shop. One of the baristas plays Magic, and one of the baristas wished us Happy New Year, and the other one wished us Happy Spoiler Season.
Aw, for those of you wondering what coffee shop we go to, it's Fernwood Coffee Company, aka the Parsonage,
Which will be relevant to almost none of you, but if you're in Victoria, it's really good. Check it out.
Yeah.
Let's crack a pack. We have a big stack. We've had a lot of stuff come in recently from you, the viewers at home, of interesting stuff. So let's see what we roll.
That's me holding the dice over my head and brandishing it.
Roll the big D20.
15.
Sounds good. There we go. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 15. Eventide.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
All right.
Oh, yes, this is Eventide, and this was donated to us by Will, the Only Spiral. Thank you, Will McCormick, the Only Spiral.
For this pack of Eventide.
I'm excited. I love Eventide.
Me too.
Oh, starting with a pretty sweet, good one. Unmake.
Oh, you guys may remember it from, was it in Modern Masters?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
I couldn't remember if it was Modern Masters or Conspiracy, but only after I'd started opening my mouth and talking.
3 Orzhov mana. So it's 3 black, white, black, white, black, white. Mm-hmm. Take your pick. Instant. Exile target creature. Whoop.
That's very strong.
Goodbye. Also, this is terrifying. Aguilion's favorite trap is the vanity mirror. A bewitched piece of glass traps the looker's soul and does away with the body.
Oh.
It's terrifying. You're just stuck there forever.
And
it's really good.
All you're doing is you're like, how's my stitch? How's my stitch? Ah, you're gone.
Wow, it's like Eventide had a lot of good cards. Cube Staple, Wickerbow Elder.
Oh, yeah.
He's a 4/4 Treefolk Shaman. Of course, he's in my Treefolk deck. For 4 mana, 3 and a green. So he's a brick. He's a 4/4 for 4. And he's a Treefolk, which I think is sweet. Downside. Oh, he comes into play with a with a -1/-1 counter on him.
Aw, so he's only a 3/3 for 4.
But you can pay a green and remove a -1/-1 counter to destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Holy crap, that's just value.
You get to kill something, you get to make your Wickerbow Elder bigger.
Oh my gosh!
He's
better than a canyon. He comes out as a canyon minotaur or whatever.
He's a 3/3, a hill giant.
A hill giant.
Yeah, he's a 3/3 for 4 that gets better and does something.
Is this in your Pauper Cube, James?
I believe it is, but I honestly haven't looked at that thing for so long. I feel sad.
I feel like I play with it more than you do at this point.
Yeah. We got to play that soon.
Yup.
All right, so this is a little lower on the power level. Duergar Assailant. The Duergar, they were dwarves of Eventide were the Duergar. He's a 1/1 for 1.
Duergar.
The 1 mana being a Boros mana. He's a dwarf soldier. Sacrifice him to deal 1 damage to target attacking or blocking creature.
I mean,
not that exciting.
He can block a 2/2 and then you set. Oh no, because if you sack the damage,
because damage does not go in the stack anymore. Another 1/1 for 1.
No,
there's a whole cycle of 1/1s for 1 in this format. The Stream Hopper. He is a 1/1 for an Izzet mana. That's red or blue. And for another Izzet mana, he can gain flying until end of turn. So he's a little 1/1 goblin that can gain flying.
Still don't know how good these guys are, although I like if he's only got 1 leg because he's a hopper. And if you pay 1 mana, he becomes a chopper.
Very, very strong card in Eventide Limited, the Ballynock Trapper. She's a 2/2 Kithkin soldier for 3 and a white. And you can tap her to tap target creature. But, Eventide mechanic, whenever you play a white spell, you may untap Ballynock Trapper. So you can
No. Yes,
tap a guy down, play a white spell, untap her, tap a different guy.
It makes you want to play these Duergar assistants a little bit more.
Also a Kithkin, which is relevant. Next up, Gift of the Deity. The gift cycle was really, really strong. 4 and a Golgari mana. This is all hybrid mana that we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. Not all of them have been, but 4 and a Golgari. Enchant creature. As long as the creature in the enchanted creature is black, it gets +1/+1 and has death touch. As long as the enchanted creature is green, it gets +1/+1, and all creatures able to block it do so. So if it's a green and black creature,
which is where you ideally want to play
it gets +2/+2 and death touch and lure.
So basically, you enchant a green-black creature, you turn that guy sideways, and unless they deal with it somehow, you could be like, that guy, your whole team blocks and 1/1/1/1. Like, you lose your guy and enchantment, but it doesn't matter because you, probably 3 for 1 'em.
Yep.
Is, I guess, living the dream, because you lose 2 cards, and they lose, 6.
Next up, Raven's Crime.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this this is in Modern Masters, too.
It is. Or Modern Masters as well.
Yes, not Modern Masters 2.
Technically, Modern Masters 2 is called Modern Masters 2015, but just in case anyone was confused.
Modern Masters TOO.
Yeah. Single black mana for a sorcery, target player discards a card. That doesn't seem that exciting. But it has Retrace, which means you can play this card from your graveyard by discarding a land in addition to paying its other costs. So this means late game, you can just be like, oh, I drew a land I didn't need? Okay, whatever. Pay a black mana, pitch this land, Ravens Crime you again.
Oh, and then you're like, no, it's late in the game. I've only got 2 cards in my hand.
Mm-hmm. Trapjaw Kelpie. I never liked this card. It's a 3/3 for 6.
Now, I'd just like to point out, Raven's Crime doesn't exile itself.
Mm-hmm. Well, none of the Retrace cards do. They stay there, so you can keep on doing it.
You can keep on ruining other people's plans.
There was a I think it was a modern deck that used Life from the Loam to dredge and get lands back from the graveyard, and then can just constantly Raven's Crime your opponent so they could never do anything ever. Anyway, Trapjaw Kelpie. 4 Simic for a 3/3. So 6 mana for a 3/3 with Flash and Persist. So when the creature is put into a graveyard, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, you return it to play with a -1/-1 counter on it. So it's a 3/3 with Flash. Then when it dies, it comes back as a 2/2. All that for 6 mana. I think it's overcosted, and I don't like it.
No, I feel that there's a more famous Eventide card with Persist.
There's several, yeah. Nip Gwillian is not one of them, but she is a 1/1 hag for a single Orzhov mana.
Hey, I'm a hag American myself.
Creature type hag.
Yeah. Hey, we're not well represented among Magic cards.
And she has lifelink. But she's fine, I guess. The Tilling Treefolk, another one I have in my Treefolk deck, is a 1/3 for 2 and a green. Treefolk Druid. When it comes into play, you may return up to 2 target lands from your graveyard to your hand, and then pitch them to Raven's Crime.
Pretty much.
Getting lands back from your graveyard in this format with Retrace around is pretty handy.
Well, and then think if you had this in a commander deck, think what other lands you could get back to from your graveyard. Snaps? Or I guess they're fetches.
Yeah. How about this guy? Noggle Bridgebreaker. 2 Is It for a 4/3.
But is it worth it?
So he's like a Borderland Minotaur.
Yeah.
But actually easier to cast.
Yeah.
When Noggle Bridgebreaker comes into play, return a land you control to its owner's hand. So you get to bounce a land of yours. You have to bounce a land of yours, actually.
I don't know.
I think he seems fine, actually. He's a 4/3. He's actually 4/3 is like, it's weird. There's a lot of really tiny creatures in Eventide, and then there's actually a fair number of very, very large creatures.
And a 4/3 is right in the middle.
But the very, very large creatures are harder to come by, and I feel like the 4/4 and the 4/3, they're pretty all right. Hey, next up is a wolf token.
Oh, that's weird.
For some reason, that's between the commons and the uncommons in Eventide packs.
Just to increase your excitement level, Graham.
Nice. Our first uncommon, Restless Apparition. It is 3 mana, Orzhov, for a 2/2.
Okay. Well, I mean that's pretty lousy, but what do I get for that investment?
You can pay another
Oh, wait, it's only three mana.
Yeah,
I thought you said it was 3 and then 3 Orzhov.
No, 3 mana for a 2/2.
Oh, that's fine.
It's okay.
I figured there's some kind of advantage that comes with me overpaying.
Well, you can pay another 3 Orzhov,
Oh.
and it gets +3/+3 until end of turn.
Okay, that's not great.
It also has persist. It's okay.
It's okay. That's really hard to cast, though.
Durgar Cave Guard. Durgar Cave Guard.
Duergar. Hey, we already. There's a Duergar assailant.
Yeah, and this is the Cave Guard. He's a 1/3 for 4 in red. A 1/3 for 3 in a red.
All right, what do I get with him?
Well, he's got Wither,
That's always good.
which is this deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters. So this is like the damage never goes away.
But it does turn off persist creatures too. Which
It
is,
does. If you put a -1/-1 counter on a creature with persist, it then cannot persist.
again, because it's already it's basically like tricking a stupid computer.
It also has fire breathing, but not a single red for +1/+0, but a Boros for +1/+0.
So you can fire breathe with white, and then make him even more persisty.
More withery.
Yeah, withery.
Cash Raiders.
Cash.
Are
I
they
love
straight
me some-
cash? Let's find out.
I love cash.
They're 4/4 for 3 blue.
In blue, that sounds great.
That's pretty big, actually. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand.
So that's a fairly steep.
I feel like you can abuse this in the format. I don't know
Well,
how, but
okay,
I feel.
well,
I mean,
hold
you can. There's spells like the Ballynock Trapper. There's a red enchantment called Power of Fire that it makes a creature ping, and you can untap, but only to players. But you can untap it whenever you cast a red spell, right?
So you could-
if you can bounce one of these like a Stream Hopper or something, and then replay it every turn.
I mean, and there are creatures with ETB effects, such as the Tilling Tree Folk. So bounce this, get another 2 lands back from your graveyard.
I feel like
Pitch
that's
more to Raven's Crime.
I feel like that's a drawback on paper only, but in practice, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like there's-
I don't know. I haven't drafted the format enough to know that.
I feel like there's definitely some.
I do when
some
it
good
comes up
ways
on
to
Magic
exploit
Online,
it.
though.
But I mean, also, if you had only you can't. It's not all magical Christmas land because you can't play your cash raiders by yourself. So if you're super behind and you draw them, they're not helpful. Mm-hmm. But what's our rare?
Our rare is
Big money, big money, big money.
worth a couple dollars. It is one of the Eventide dual lands. It is Twilight Meyer.
Oh, the blue-black one.
No,
No?
the black-green one.
Twilight Meyer.
Yes, it is tap to add a single colorless to your mana pool, or for a Golgari mana and tap it, add black-black, black-green, or green-green to your mana pool. So you get to filter your land as well.
Filtering, very, very, very useful.
Yeah. What's I know you've already looked it up, James.
Twilight makes me think blue.
What's Twilight
Right.
Meyer worth?
Oh, I haven't looked it up.
Oh, that's unusual for you. Usually you're on top of that.
I'm over here today. I have too many other responsibilities.
James, what you're telling me is you're not perfect? I am disappointed.
Twilight Meyer is worth. Wait,
Wait for it.
internet, go faster.
$2.
Whoa, $23.
No way.
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
These cards are really good.
Yeah,
Let's just put this to the side. Thank you again, Will.
that is my retirement fund. It's going to be a bad retirement.
$23.
I'm retiring for one day and eating in only McDonald's.
Sounds like a plan.
It's going to be
I
sweet
feel like you
retirement.
could make $23 last you for at least 3 days if you get like off the dollar
That's
dollar
true.
value menu at
Yeah.
McDonald's. I
That's
mean,
true.
after 3 days, you'll be out of money, but you'll also be out of the desire to eat, though. So
True.
balance it out.
I mean,
right.
just pure value, that's the first pick.
Oh, right,
And
yeah,
it might honestly just be the first pick anyways, because those cards are really good,
It's
right?
that, yeah, I think it's that or unmake.
yeah, Unmake is good.
Just kill a thing. Just
Yeah.
make a thing go
The
all the
Wicker
way
Bow
away.
Elder is also good. I actually think some of the commons are better than the uncommons we got.
I think so too.
But yeah, probably Unmake.
Trapper, unmake Trapper, Wicker Bow, or Twilight Meyer.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Hey, let's talk about Khans of Tarkir, or rather,
Let's talk about Fate Reforged.
Furhufuf.
Foff.
Furhufuf.
Foff.
Fate Reforged.
Foff.
Yes.
That's what I'm calling it.
It's Furf. It's
Furf.
FRF.
Yeah.
Furt?
Furf.
Like a fart noise? Like furt? Furt.
No, it's not furt. It's Furf.
Furt.
Yeah. I'm glad we've established this. Anyway, there have been a bunch of spoilers coming out, and we're going to talk about some of them.
Oh boy.
Hey, let's talk about a mythic. Let's just
Dive right in
Should I
there.
dive right in?
fire right in with this guy, the Brutal Horde Chief. I have not actually read this. Let's see what it does. It's a
All right.
3/3. I just thought it was mythic and was like, that's got to be good, right?
Probably.
It's a 3/3 for 3 and a black. Okay, sweet. It's an orc. Nice. Whenever a creature you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Okay, sweet. So it's like better than Hellrider.
Does he have a head?
Where's his head?
Does he just not have a head?
No, he's
Oh
got,
no, it's the there's like wispy hairs coming off it. It's like he's just got a very, very, very thick neck. He's looking to the right side of the
His
card.
shoulders are
Okay.
very broad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very broad.
But there's more. For 3 Boros. Let's see, it's good that we had the Eventide so we can bone up on our hybrid mana. Creatures your opponents control block this turn if able, and you choose how those creatures block.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
All right, so that just ends the game.
So it's a draining Hellrider, and then you get to just cast Master Warcraft whenever you want.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the name of the card. There was a card from, I want to say, original
What did you
Ravnica
call it?
block. I think it's called Master Warcraft.
Or is it called Mastery of Warcraft or something like
I think
that?
it's, I don't think it's named that.
Cast Master Warcraft only before attackers are declared. You choose which creatures attack. Oh, which creatures you attack. Yeah, you choose how each creature blocks this turn. Yeah,
And it casts for Boros mana, right?
yeah, 2 Boros.
Yeah, so so you just get to cast Master Warcraft every turn, and you're gaining life and they're losing life. This guy's insane.
It's cost. His ability does cost 1 more than
Oh,
Master
no.
Warcraft.
You get to do it every
well,
turn.
throw it in the
Yeah.
trash then.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
It's pretty garbo.
That card's real good.
Wow.
But it is a
I
mythic.
mean, it is a mythic.
Yeah,
It's what I would
better be.
expect from a mythic.
But I feel if you open that, you play it, and it's a single black, right? So if you're not into black, but you're into red, and you know, I feel that this card is
It's-
splashable and worth splashing.
It's in Mardu colors. It's a warrior. It's this card is insane.
That's so good.
It is in the aggressive Mardu deck with all the little goblin tokens running around and stuff like that. This card just seems like it's going to be
bonkers.
insane.
But the thing is, like,
'Cause
even
he
if
does
you're
not have to
playing
attack to do
Jeskai, I feel like you splash for this card.
Yeah, but he does not have to attack to do it.
No.
Right,
Which is awesome.
So that's the best part. Because
Yeah.
I was like, he's like better Hellrider, and you'd be like, well, Hellrider doesn't the Hellrider has haste. This guy doesn't have haste. He doesn't need it because it's anytime anyone attacks, which I think Hellrider does as well. But the point being, it's really, really good. Anyway, hey, so we talked about Yasova Dragonclaw previously when she was first spoiled, and
Yeah,
she's the new con for the
old con.
well, the old con for the teamer.
Teamer.
And we now see that she has an enormous cat.
And it's a cat friend. It's not like she's just killed that cat. Like,
No.
that cat's looking at the camera, and he's just like, grr, I'm a cat.
But we
So
have
she's a cat lady.
We have two other new old cons. Let's take a look at the Jeskai con. Shu Yun, the Silent Tempest. He's a human monk. He is a 3/2 for 2 and a blue with prowess.
What does a silent tempest sound like?
Well, I think that's one of those questions that he would spend a lot of time pondering. But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay Boros. If you do, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. I like Yasova's stuff better.
Yeah. I mean, like, giving a creature double strike could basically just end the game if you...
But you
know.
have to cast a non-creature spell to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Yasova, I like Yasova a lot better.
What about the old Abzan Khan, Dagatar the Adamant? He's a 0/0 for 3 and a white.
Well, he's just terrible. He just dies.
Holy, that's
Why would-
so lousy.
Why would you play this card? He just
John
dies.
Laux doesn't even need to read anymore. He's
Hey,
going to play that.
He's got vigilance.
Sweet.
even better. Even lousier.
He enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters.
Okay, so he's a 4/4.
He's a 4/4 with vigilance for 4.
That seems really good.
For 1 Golgari, move a +1/+1 counter from target creature onto a second target creature.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
So he can spread his counters around. He can mess with your other counters. Don't forget, the Abzan abilities are Outlast and Bolster.
yeah.
And Outlast cares about creatures that have +1/+1 counters, and Bolster adds them. So you're going to have counters floating around. You get to just You get to just do crazy stuff with this.
Yeah. Don't forget. Fate Reforged is not cast on its own. It is cast with other ways to get counters.
That seems pretty.
So
darn
yeah,
sweet.
So there you go. You have a cheap Outlast guy like your what's the Disowned Ancestor, right?
Yeah, he's a 0/4.
Yeah. So and he'd cost like 1 to put a counter on.
2.
Okay, but
That's
like
what
the
that
point
was.
being, he's a cheap Outlaster, and with this guy, instead of paying for an expensive guy that you don't necessarily want to tap, but you want to get a counter on him now, problem solved. I mean, there's already ways to do that, but this has a relevant body attached to it, which is nice.
So there's this cycle of sieges.
Where dragons are, I would describe it as giving people in settlements a bad day.
Yeah. There's one in each color, and there's the Citadel Siege, the Monastery Siege, the Palace Siege, the Outpost Siege, and the Frontier Siege. And each of them, they're an enchantment for 4 mana. I think they're all 4 mana.
No.
Sorry. Frontier.
There's one that's
Out-
3 and one that's 5.
Yeah. So it's 2 white, 2 in a blue, 3 black, 3 in a red, 3 in a green. Anyway, each of them, when they enter the battlefield, you choose cons or dragons. And they do stuff differently depending on what you pick. If you pick cons, for example, we'll look at Citadel Siege here. This is the white one. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control.
That seems. I actually evaluated all of these for this episode, and I have opinions about which ones are the best.
Really? You looked at all the sieges?
I have looked at them and compared them all.
Alrighty.
So, but that's real good. That's very good.
That's very good because those stick around. Or if you pick dragons on Citadel Siege, at the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn, tap target creature that player controls.
I mean, that's okay.
You get to just free tap a guy down every turn.
Yes, I mean that's
Pretty sweet.
I mean, depending on what you want. Like if you're behind, the second mode is better because obviously it gets their guys out of the way when they're going to be attacking you.
What about the blue one? What about Monastery Siege?
Let's see. Monastery Siege is when it enters that you choose between cons and dragons. Cons, at the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card, then discard a card. That is great if you just want to put stuff
Wow.
in your bin for delve.
That's just great anyway.
Yeah, that's just looting.
You get basically, you draw one card and then you draw another card.
And then you can discard whatever you
any
want.
card. You get to draw 2 cards a turn and
you
just pitch
don't-
whatever sucks the most.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's discard a card from your hand, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to necessarily discard either of those cards.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
It's you draw and then you draw and then you discard out of any of them. It doesn't have to be one of those 2. That's really
So that's
really sweet.
Very good.
And then dragons
Yes.
is spells your opponent casts that target you or a permanent you control cost 2 colorless more. That's interesting.
That's interesting. I would be very hard pressed to choose dragons when the cons ability is there, being like,
Yeah.
draw cards,
I can't remember a time.
filter cards.
It seems like I can't remember a time, at least in limited especially, where causing your opponent's spells to cost more than they already do isn't ever been all that great.
It's certainly not better than drawing 2 cards.
No, like cons is just significantly better on this card than I think dragons
Also,
is.
being this the Monastery Siege is a 3-drop, like that's actually an all right play for your 3rd turn.
It's an incredible
Yeah,
'cause-
absolutely. You want to drop
Ugh.
that on turn 3. And like the worst, so if you have like a hand with not much gas, like a bunch of land, and keep that hand. Most people don't do anything till turn 3 anyhow, and then you'll have plenty of crap to pitch to this card. And then if you have any delve cards, you're just like putting crap in your bin for delve, but you're getting value out of it while you do.
Yeah, I like
so
that. This
good.
is clearly the Jeskai card, but it works really well in Sultai.
Yeah. All right, but here's the Sultai card. It's Palace Siege. When it enters the battlefield, choose one of these options. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's kind of a delve nombo.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
But
that's fine because theoretically you'll be running stuff. Like if you have other delve cards or other cards that make you put stuff in the bin, you'll have stuff in there, and maybe some of the stuff in there is you would rather it be on the table rather than getting exiled for a delve card. So it's not exciting.
That's a powerful ability, but it's very slow because it's going to your hand, so you still have to cast it and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
it does let you recycle your creatures. Black is very earth friendly. Or dragons. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Excuse me, what?
Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
So it's like a stab wound that's better that they can't get rid of.
Well, I mean,
Well,
they
they get rid of
That's
this.
a lot harder to get rid of than a stab wound was.
yeah. It seems like dragons.
it's
is
the opponents, not
clearly
their creature.
Yeah, but clearly dragons is the way to go on this one.
Well, that's
Yes.
like
Dragons is amazing. Well, that's what you do with stab wound is you put it on the creature, and then they'd have to either die to it or kill their own creature.
Yeah.
This they can't even kill the creature; they just die.
yeah, and this is a 4-point life total like swing every turn, right?
The dragon's ability is much better than
That's
the Khan's
ludicrous.
ability.
All right.
All right,
Outpost Siege is next.
you want to read this one, James?
Sure. At the beginning, if you pick cons at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of turn, you may play that card. Okay.
Okay, so you get to like kind of draw an extra card. Wait, you may play it? Okay, so if it's a land, you still get it
Yes.
because it's play, not cast.
It's play not cast, so yeah, no, it seems pretty sweet.
Okay, this is kind of like that Chandra. One of the Chandras has that +1 ability.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool.
And Dragons reads, whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. The siege deals 1 damage to target creature
So
or
the
player.
siege is kind of a panger.
Yeah, kind of.
Get value off your tokens.
Yeah, I mean that one doesn't seem like crazy awesome, but
Yeah, but you have to remember that the Mardu mechanic, because sometimes you just run creatures into other creatures to trigger raid, and this gives you a little bit of raid bonus, right?
I guess.
know what I mean?
For 4 mana, this card seems the least exciting of the sieges.
so far I would agree with that. Yeah.
That was my conclusion as well. But let's discuss the last one before we talk
right.
about that.
Frontier Siege, the green one. Cons at the beginning of each of your main phases. Excuse me.
Each.
At the beginning of each of your main phases, add green to your mana pool. I'm sold. I'm
yes.
done. I don't need to know what else this card does.
Wow, is it really hard to cast those big teamer dudes? Not anymore.
That's really cool. I like that though.
Each of your main
Each of your main
Because that
phases.
means you can play a little bit. Teamer rewards you for playing your creatures in your first main phase, right? Because then you have creatures that check against ferocious when they do things and stuff. But it doesn't mean that you have to, right? You can play it after they're like, oh, I guess I'll make some tough blocks, and you're like, surprise, big dude, right?
That's really crazy.
It's
or
really good.
Dragons, whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature you don't control.
That's kind of cool.
That's super situational.
That's super situational.
In a deck that likes that, it seems like it would be really busted, but if I have this, I'm never not picking cons, I don't think. Just ramping.
Yeah. Okay. So my order of my favorite one was the blue one because I'm like, draw cards, cast for 3. Like I
Yep.
just cannot see that not ever being useful. And I'll just draw filter, right? So that's really good. And I think I did like the teamer one next best because it's unexciting, but it gets you casting stuff. Like the red one I find a little boring. I think the black one, I mean, it's gonna drain you for 4 a turn. But I think the other ability is not great on it. It's not amazing. And although the white one is give a creature +2/+2. Go back to the white one for a second.
At the beginning of combat on your turn. No, it's not +2/+2. It's 2 +1/+1 counters.
Oh, permanently.
That's in the ecosystem of white in these sets. That's insane.
Oh no, okay.
Because you also get to piggyback on the various Outlast lords.
Yeah. In that case, I reverse my decision. It goes blue, white, green, black, red for the ones I'm wanting the most.
I would agree with that.
All right.
I want to talk. We're not going to talk about literally every spoiler that's come out, but there's some more that we definitely should.
If you skip over this next card that I want to talk about, I'm going to hit you.
I bet you I know what this is. Did you like Young Pyromancer?
Because I have something that's much better.
Did you think Young Pyromancer was sweet?
Do you think Young
oh
Pyromancer
my
was a good
God.
idea, but it wasn't broken enough?
Check out Monastery Mentor. He's a 2/2 for 3. That seems fine. That's okay.
I've paid more for it.
That being said, so he's a mythic though.
Yeah.
So you're expecting some good stuff.
Well, he has prowess, James.
Yeah, he has
Yeah, so
prowess.
Don't be greedy.
He has prowess. There you go. 2/2 prowess for 3. Done.
That is not a mythic.
No.
That does not a mythic make.
Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, so this is not just instants and sorceries, any non-creature spell, this includes those siege enchantments we were just talking about, put a 1/1 white monk creature token onto the battlefield.
You missed a part.
But wait, there's
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
The tokens have prowess.
Yeah. That
tokens
is completely insane.
Have prowess.
Blech.
So that means you play this guy and then you cast another thing and you get a 1/1 and this becomes a 3/3.
Yeah.
And then next turn, if you cast something else, now all of a sudden you have a 3/3 and a 2/2, and another 1/1. This card looks amazing.
Yeah.
I love this card so much.
Well, I mean, just think about the awful combat. Just like, even if you only use those things to block, God, you're going to make somebody's day so miserable. That card's real good, but that card's also mythic. But I feel like, yeah, that's really good.
So good. Hey, we should talk about Manifest. I'm
Sure.
gonna skip over to the Teamer War Shaman because we should talk about Manifest. This is one of the other new mechanics in the set. Teamer War Shaman is a 4/5 for 6 mana for 4 green. Human Shaman. When Teamer War Shaman,
And they're riding a kitty.
riding a giant kitty.
Meow.
When Teamer War Shaman enters the battlefield, manifest the top card of your library. So what this says, the reminder text, put that card onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature. Turn it face up at any time for its mana cost if it's a creature card. So manifest is different than morph, though it's going to work very interestingly with morph. So what manifest means is you take the top card or the top however many cards, because some cards are like manifest the top 2 cards. You take the card, you put it face down on the battlefield, and it's a 2/2 colorless creature, just like a morph, but it's not a morph. It is a manifest creature. If it's a land or an instant or a sorcery or an enchantment or a non-creature artifact, that's it. It's a 2/2 colorless creature forever. If it's a creature, you can basically unmorph it for its normal casting cost, whether it's a morph creature or not.
Exactly.
If it is a morph creature, you can pay its converted mana cost or its morph cost. And
Because it's technically a morph.
Yeah, and when this creature turns face up abilities trigger. Because the wording is not unmorph or unmanifest or whatever, it's turn face up.
Yeah.
So think about this magical Christmas land. You manifest Master of Pearls, and you flip him up for 2 mana, and his flip up ability that normally costs 5 mana
Oh, yeah.
gets the trigger.
Gimme that spell.
It's really good.
Get it, catch it.
So
and
Manifest
keep it.
seems really, really sweet, and I really look forward to seeing how it interacts, and I do not envy the judges that are going to have to deal with morphs versus, my opponent morphed a land. No, that was a Manifest. Oh, God. Folks at home, when Fate Reforged pre-release comes around, please use the tokens provided. Mark your morphs, mark your manifests, make sure everyone is really clear
And then
about
buy
which
your
is
judge
which.
a beer afterwards because they might need it.
Yeah.
But
Let's see what the rest of this card does.
oh wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
So you don't just manifest it. Also, whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, if it's a creature, you may have it fight target creature you don't control.
Now this is only a rare.
That's insane.
That's really good.
That could be a morph. That could be a manifest. It doesn't matter. Whenever it's turned face up, you fight. You have a scrap.
Well, if you want to, you may.
You may.
You may. You may have a scrap.
You may. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, excuse me.
This is what you sound like.
But realistically, I know we just talked about sort of the sort of Karus spell snatcher. Yeah, you were talking about Master of Pearls. I was thinking of spell snatcher, by the way.
How much does she cost normally?
Like she's cheap.
Which card?
Karu's Spell
Snatcher, the one that when you
yeah.
morph it up, you get to counter a spell and steal it, and it's yours now forever.
Isn't like 5 to do that?
I think
Yeah,
it's
but
I think it's like 5 versus 7. Like it's 7 to flip up. I don't know what her actual casting cost is because I've never ever cast her for face value.
Why would you?
Sure would be nice if I could.
I mean, we're
find
talking
it.
about rares here. I think it's KHERU.
KHE. That's what I was. Yeah, there we go.
Good job, Graham.
Boom. It's
That's 4.
it's 3 and a blue to cast hard.
Oh wow.
4 blue to morph.
So you're saving a lot of mana there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's another
Really?
that's another good one to be able to do this with.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. That's the sort of, but realistically, like you're not going to be in Spell Snatcher, Magical Christmas Land, but what you are going to do is get a pretty significant like mana savings for a morph card that you put down because you're not having to pay 3 to put it down as a 2/2. You can go. So, I mean, you can just do more on your turn if you can manifest things. And also, if it's like a land, you don't need to, and you'd rather have a 2/2 than a land, which is not an inconceivable situation to be in by any stretch of the imagination. You never have to reveal it.
Yep.
It's great. Or alternately, if you're like, oh, well, I had this Plains manifest a long time ago and I didn't need it for anything, so it was just like getting in there, getting some work done. But now I actually do have I need white. You could just flip your 2/2 up, I guess.
Yep.
For nothing. And I was like, hooray, Plains, finally. Speaking of Plains.
Yeah, you want to talk about the next cycle real quick?
These are,
It's a cycle of uncommons that sort of...
check against having the land from the rest of their clan.
Not the land.
Oh, right, the
Permanent.
permanent, sorry.
Yeah, so it's similar to those cards from the ones you're thinking of, the ones from the core set.
Yeah.
That cared about, there were like a blue one that cared if you had planes or whatever. So this one, for example, Wandering Champion, which, by the way, I can tell you right now, the nickname is She'll Kick You Apart.
Bisection.
She's a 3/1 for 2, which is sweet. Remember the Oresco Swift Claw and stuff like that?
I don't like 3/1s as much, especially in this format.
I'm fine with them in this format. In M15, they weren't as good because there were so many little 1/1 dudes lying around.
There's a lot of 1/1 dudes lying around now. There's all of
not
those
as
warrior
many
tokens.
Not as many as M15.
That's true.
You're pretty happy to trade
for a morph.
to trade with stuff, yeah. But if you control a blue or red permanent, then when you deal combat damage to a player with this, you get to loot.
That's fine. I'm not particularly excited by this. I don't.
I'll just be real quick with this. The blue one is a 2/1 for 3 that can't block and can't be blocked,
Okay.
and you can cast it from your graveyard if you control a black or green permanent.
This one I like. This
That's
one's
very good.
very, very good. Like, realistically, this is mostly a Master of Pearls, like the unblockable guy, except he has the ability that you don't ever want to bother killing him.
The Mystic of the Hidden Way.
Mystic of the Hidden Way. Damn it.
It's okay.
Because you don't ever want to bother killing him because he'll just come back and it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Battle Brawler is a 2/2 for 2 in black, which is really good. That's actually super solid on its own. Probably one of the better ones. But as long as you control a red or white permanent, it gets +1/+0 and first strike.
This is the best one so far, I think.
That's really good.
First strike,
It's a 3/2 first strike.
Oh, 3/2 first strike.
Yeah, and all you have to do is control a red or white permanent.
Yeah,
And-
Battle
and-
Brawler
and-
is sweet.
And at worst, it's
Also-
at worst it's a 2/2 for 2.
Relevant subtype warrior.
Yeah.
Really good.
How about Hunger Man?
Hunger Man, what does he do?
He's a 4/4 for 5, which is fine.
That's big.
As long as you control a green or blue permanent, you can cast the Yeti. Sorry, this is the Hungering Yeti. You can cast it as though it had flash.
That's fine.
I think that's pretty okay,
I mean,
actually.
a
a 4/4 for 5 is a big beefer, and being able to surprise someone is so. Okay, here's where
having 5 mana for a flash creature is.
But you don't have 5 mana for a flash creature. You have 5 mana for this morph and this manifest, and if you don't need to do those, then you flash this guy in, right? This is a format like you've drafted cons. This is a format where you routinely pass a turn with 5 mana up so you can do stuff, right?
And then maybe they don't.
This guy slots in perfectly. In other formats, yeah, that'd be terrible. Like formats where you want to just tap out and say go. But in this format, I think that actually totally works.
Yeah, because how many times have you passed a turn ready to flip your morphs, and then your opponent's like, I see how much mana you have up, and then they don't do anything, so you don't do anything because you wanted to get the jump on them, right? Now you just cast your Hungering Yeti with Flash. I don't think he's quite as good as the black creature.
No.
But that's good. It's better than the blue one and better than the white one.
I really like the green one, though. I don't mind saying I really like this guy. He's a 3/3 for 4, like we said earlier. Hill Giant, really good. If you control a white or black permanent, he has lifelink. That seems sweet.
That's really good.
I like that a lot.
That's just value.
I'm reminded of
What was it? 3/3
Nylaia's Emissary, the
Yeah,
3/3 for 4 that gained life equal to devotion from Theros block.
was really good.
Yeah, but generally you're gaining between 2 and 4 life from Nylaia's Emissary, and this has a much higher possible upside. Mm-hmm. There's so many cool cards. These all look sweet.
Why don't we talk a little bit about the dragons? They're the multicolored ones.
Oh, yeah. There's one thing I want to... Actually, there's 2 more cards in the main bulk I want to talk about real quick. Soulfire Grandmaster.
This is my new favorite card.
This is James's new favorite card ever.
It's probably my favorite card that they've printed since we came back to the game.
Here, you want to read it?
So it's a 1 and a white for a 2/2.
Great. Sold. In.
It has lifelink.
Bears.
Even better.
And this is where it got me. Instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink.
I'm pretty sure that's never been done before.
I don't think it has. I can't say that I've ever seen it,
I don't even know how that works.
What that reads as, so that means if I play this guy and then play a lightning bolt, that means it deals 3 damage to you and I gain 3 life?
Yep.
That seems cool.
That seems really good.
And then beyond that, it has an activated ability for 2 colorless Is It. The next time you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, put that card into your hand instead of into your graveyard as it resolves. So you just recycle.
So if you're bored, if your game stalls out, this is your best friend. So for like a combat trick, does that just also give the creature lifelink, I assume?
What do you mean?
Because the spell has lifelink?
Which? No. Instant and sorcery spells have lifelink.
Yeah, but say you cast, say a creature you control gets +1/+1 and protection from a color.
No, because lifelink is when it deals damage. So the spell is not dealing damage. Right? So it's like burn spells.
Yeah.
Get lifelink.
How many burn spells are like? I mean, there's like Arrowstorm and stuff. There are some.
I'm not thinking about this in terms of cons. I'm thinking about this in terms of the history of Magic. This turns everything into a lightning helix.
Yep.
It's
Do you think that's like
nuts.
legacy playable?
It's super cool. I have absolutely
not
no
the person
idea.
to ask.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get an answer to that. But yeah, I love this card. The art is amazing, and I love
She's a cool lady.
just that ability is just so cool and so unique, and I love it. So, new favorite card.
I want to talk to you about a janky red card that I think is hilarious. This is the Rage form. It is 2 red for an enchantment. I just love how they have to word this. When Rage form enters the battlefield, it becomes an aura with enchant creature. Right? They can't make it a creature enchantment by itself because those target when you cast them.
Yeah,
But this can't, because what happens is it enters the battlefield and becomes an aura. You manifest the top card of your library, and then you attach Rage form to it, and then the enchanted creature has double strike. So you get a 2/2 with double strike for 4.
But then you can flip that creature up.
And it could be a bigger with double strike. It depends on what the top card of your library is.
this card is super weird.
I am delighted by how weird it is.
I can't see this being playable.
You can't see it being playable? Sorry.
I don't know.
Wait,
I feel like this is not a card that is going to be graded highly when the legit set reviews start rolling out later this month.
Like it's janky and silly.
It's pretty silly, but I do like
That's
it.
why I like it.
All right.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a fun.
Oh, you
card.
wanted to talk about that guy first, yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about what I just call Kathleen's one-way trip to Value Town. It is Hooded Assassin. This is the kind of card I love. It's the kind of card I always look for in set reviews. It's a common, unlike all these splashy mythics and rares that you guys are talking about. This card I'm really excited for. Hooded Assassin. It's a 1/2 for 3. And it has a choice. When it enters the battlefield, you could put a 1/1 counter on Hooded Assassin, so it becomes a 2/3 for 3. Okay. And in cons, 2/3 is such a relevant body type.
Yep.
Like, that is really good. I'm pretty happy to play a 2/3 for 3, but, or destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn.
So either you get a 2/3 for 3, which is sweet,
Super sweet.
against all the morphs and manifests.
Oh my god, yes.
Or you just get to kill something and you get a 1/2 afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, like, the kill something is extremely situational, but, like, the nice thing about, like, late in the game, you want to draw a 2/3. You draw a 2/3, and it's kind of irrelevant. But late in the game here, you could get some combat, and you could turn sort of a me, but I'm getting a slight advantage sort of situation to break up a board deadlock out of the way and turn it into a no, honey, no. Or if you draw like one piece of like small removal, if you have something that can ping something, like there seems like there's a lot of ways to, and there's not much removal in this set. And like, because this is like, there's not much removal in cons. And I'm not saying this is actual removal, but I'm just saying that this seems like it's really useful.
Yeah.
At common, I'm super excited about this. You'll certainly think twice about weird blocks if they have 3 mana open and they're in,
Yeah.
and they're in.
It's like, all right,
black.
attacking with a 1 power, whatever. I'll just block with this big dude and they'll bounce off each other, right? And then you're like, haha, I get you.
Yeah, or like I throw my token away to trigger raid, and then you eat the token and maybe take 2 other damage from something else, but then the thing you ate the token with is also now dead.
Yup.
Right? Like, it seems really
Take
good.
it.
I like that. It's common. It's not splashy or high impact, but it could be. And it's common, so like the investment's low. And the chances of me being able to exploit it are high.
So you mentioned the dragons. I actually think we should wait on the dragons because there's only 3. There will obviously be more.
Well, there'll be 5, isn't there?
There should be at least 5. Yeah, I want to wait on the dragons, but I think there's one dragon we should talk about this week, which was the Christmas Day spoiler. I think it was Christmas. Was it Christmas Eve?
It was. Yeah. Well, it was Christmas Eve. Yeah.
The new planeswalker, as people had predicted, Ugin, the spirit dragon.
Or as Marshall is going to call him, Eugene.
That's a terrible name. So big Ugin here. He is a 7 loyalty planeswalker for 8 mana, just like his nemesis Nicol Bolas.
Blap.
And I love his abilities, particularly how they relate to Nicol Bolas. So his first ability doesn't do anything on his own, but is a really cool reference. So it's +2. Ugin the Spirit Dragon deals 3 damage to target creature or player. So it's 3 colorless damage. And that is the card Ghostfire, which was first printed in Future Sight on one of the Future Shifted cards. And that was the first reference to Ugin anywhere.
It was on that card.
Yeah, there's the flavor text. I'm sure James will be able to see it in a second. What was the original flavor text?
The original flavor text is only those gifted with the Eye of Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, can see his fiery breath.
Right. And so that was all they had for Ugin at the time. Like, assuredly they did.
It was a sweet card.
Yeah, assuredly they did not have this whole grand-reaching plan when they did Ghostfire. Maybe they had some ideas, but I just love how they've sort of developed it out from Ghostfire, which is also a sweet card. So Ugin comes down, 7 mana, immediately can go up to 9 on his first turn. Obviously 8 mana is a lot for a planeswalker, but 1, it's a colorless planeswalker, and 2, he's very, very, very powerful.
And sometimes board games and cons have stalled out and gone long, and it's conceivable that you could cast an 8 mana creature.
So check this out, though. -X. Exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less that is 1 or more colors. So the reason it mentions 1 or more colors, we were talking about this on the stream last night, is that lands are colorless. So that doesn't kill lands. But the reason I think this is really interesting is because Nicol Bolas, his plus ability, it's a +3, right?
Yep.
Is destroy target permanent.
Yep.
Right? So if you play Ugin,
non-creature permanent.
Destroy target non-creature permanent. If you play Ugin, and then your opponent plays Nicol Bolas can kill Ugin. But if you play Nicol Bolas, and then your opponent plays Ugin cannot kill Nicol Bolas. Because even if he comes right down and blows off all 7 loyalty, Nicol Bolas's CMC is 8.
But what if you play Ugin and then you play something that proliferates? Then you can kill Nicol Bolas.
I guess. But
look, stop interfering with my magical Christmas land fantasies.
From a flavor perspective, I just really like that Nicol Bolas won. That was the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And then...
That's good attention to detail. Good job, Wizards.
Yeah. And then if you look at Bolas's minus ability, which is it also -10?
Nicol? No, -9.
Okay, so his is -9. And it's target player or opponent or whatever discards 7 cards... they lose 7 life, discard 7 cards, and sacrifice 7 permanents.
Correct.
Ouch.
But Ugin's response to that is, at -10, you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and then can put up to 7 permanents from your hand onto the battlefield. If that doesn't win you the game...
If that doesn't win you the game, you are probably
playing Commander.
Yeah, actually.
Your opponent goes, okay, cool.
All right, give me 5 minutes here.
Okay, end of your turn, quick and supreme verdict.
Yeah.
You're just like, dang it. Anyway, Ugin's sweet. Ugin's really, really cool. From a flavor and storytelling perspective, A+. From a gameplay perspective, I think he's also really good. I'm honestly not the best person to ask in terms of that, but I think he's pretty sweet.
Well, I mean, I feel that Ugin has, if nothing else, has a place in a lot of commander decks. If you're saying a mono red or a mono black commander deck, and you have a hard time dealing with certain kinds of cards,
well, any
like
deck that
enchantments or artifacts. I'm thinking I have a mono black commander deck which cannot deal with Graham's goddamn behemoth sledge and his green white commander deck. But if I had an Ugin, problem solved.
Any deck that plays artifacts are colorless. Oh, but the Behemoth Sledge is, or you're thinking of. Yes, the Behemoth. The Loxodon Warhammer is colorless, but the Behemoth Sledge is.
Yeah, but this is
white
just
and
target
green.
exile each permanent. Convert mana
That
cost.
is one or more colors. Artifacts are colorless.
Ah.
Ah.
Well,
but one of
if-
them is white and green colored. Anyway, the point is, if you have a commander deck that's playing Karn, you should probably also be playing Ugin.
I mean, Karn does that better, but Ugin is more efficient.
Yeah.
It's like all your 3 drops, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
Ugin was from Boston.
he's not.
How do we know what the cons of Tarkir like? Tarkir looks like a exotic sort of Asian-inspired plane, but how do you know people aren't running around talking like this? Come at me, Yasset. Come at me.
It's an inspired guess.
If you work at Wizards of the Coast and you think I'm correct, simply weigh in. Email Graham. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
You can ping us on Twitter at LurMTG though.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Just at LurMTG, no. And we'll know what you're talking
I'm
about.
expecting that from Doug Bayer or Matt Tabak or something.
Oh, I think it could be good.
No, I think that'd be awful.
We'll just have to wait for the. Well, I mean, they're working on that on the Magic movie. So when they when they announce an all Wahlberg cast,
Mark Wahlberg as Jace.
as all and like all
I
of
would-
his
I would
all
watch that movie.
Wahlberg brothers as other.
I'm Jace Bellerin. Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah, exactly. How amazing would that be? When they announce an all Wahlberg cast, we'll know that I was right.
Bet you got 2 accents. One when you're hanging out with the Azorius, one when you're down with the Golgari, right? Point being, that's it for spoilers for this week.
That's it for Tap Concede.
But I'm sure we'll talk more about more Fate Reforged spoilers next week on Tap Concede. And yeah, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you then.
Bye, everybody.